My whole life, I had to be reminded to breathe. In the hospital 2 decades ago, nurses would remind each other.
If you see Billy hugging the walls, tell him to breathe.
I've always felt too far underwater. Panicked I don't have the air I need to get to the surface in time. Talking came to me with an ease that breathing did not. Daddy was a Baptist preacher, and my Kentucky family lived to tell stories. But in the winter of 5th grade, it became a pronouncement against me and the teacher's perfect penmanship.
Billy talks too much.
This became a family joke much later, but at the time, the sentence against me was serious because it accompanied the worst possible score in math. I stood in front of my father's desk as he turned my failure over and over in his hands as a magician might to convert the mark from F to A. He looked at me with tired eyes.
Billy, I know you don't like math, but this?
He was 39, my strong, handsome father with the heart of Christ. He'd always been athletic and energetic, reaching his big hand out to grab a stranger close and joke. He had an ease about himself and his life and other people that I could pretend to, but never truly feel. He considered me the skinny boy with a leg brace, so different from the son he must have expected.
I don't want to see another grade like this. Understand?
I loved drawing and singing and reading, and I hated math, but I understood. My father never lived to see if I'd make good or not. By spring, the cancer none of us knew he'd had when he signed my report card had metastasized to every organ in his body. When I heard the news, I didn't cry because I knew I had faith larger than a mustard seed. I wasn't going to move a mountain. I was going to keep my father alive. In May, I turned 11. After my quiet birthday party, I sat on his hospital bed talking about the camping trip we were going to take when he came home. I'd begun reading outdoor adventures and learning to tally necessary provisions and follow emergency procedures if I was lost. He kept stroking my hair, listening. He looked in my eyes with more love than I'd ever seen because, I realize now, he knew we'd never go on that trip. His lips were cracked, but he smiled and murmured,
Billy.
I know he wanted to say more. When he closed his blue eyes that day, I didn't realize I'd never see them open again. I was too busy talking to think. The last day of 5th grade, as I was heading out the door, my mom called from the hospital.
You don't have to go to school today. The doctors don't think your dad will make it.
I knew he would. I'd see him after school. That morning, my report card said, much improved. I'd earned a C+ in math. Daddy died while I was saying goodbye to children whose names I have forgotten. Afterwards, I buried inside me the thought that I was the one who should have died, not him. My faith had failed us all, and there we stood, choosing yellow roses. Last May, I received the call I'd been expecting for 41 years. I thought, God's realized the enormity of his mistake. I want to say that I don't actually believe that, but the truth is, part of me does. A friend who's lived 12 years with the same cancer I have told me that when you receive the diagnosis, you return to the first experience you had of the word. I returned to my father, of course, but this time I didn't talk too much. I didn't talk at all. Instead, we discovered that my husband has a way of conveying complicated medical information to family and friends. He is the one who talks. I had to find another way. I saw that Memorial Sloan Kettering had a writing program to support its patients. I joined. My writing mentor read my rants and cries and never judged a sentence, no matter how ugly the emotions beneath. I realized I was being heard as I hadn't been before. Whenever I shared my shame at being unable to talk about cancer or about gasping for air, she wrote,
Remember, Bill, writing can be another way for you to breathe.
I looked at her words for a long while, and I let them in. I took a deep, even breath, and I began writing the story.